bill is not contentious. It is acceptable by all. I haven't had contributions coming from all sides of this parliament. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the essence of this bill, as have been highlighted by the chairman of the Nutrition Committee, I want to reiterate again, Mr. Speaker, so that we allay the fears of members of parliament and the citizenry of this country. Mr. Speaker, with your leave, I will read on page 36, which is the memorandum of objects and reasons. The purpose of this bill, Mr. Speaker, with your leave, I read. The purpose of this bill is to provide for safe and adequate nutrition for infants and young children by promoting breastfeeding and regulating the market of food products manufactured for infants and young children, including feeding bottles, tithes, and pacifiers. Mr. Speaker, the reason for reading this one is because there's a perception going around that we are going to force people to do breastfeeding and breastfeeding alone. That's not the essence of this bill. The essence of this bill is to regulate products that are coming that will substitute for breastfeeding. Of course, as has been said by the Honorable AKK, we have huge challenge with our standard bureau. It's not just on food, all other commodities that are being used here, there are challenges with our standard bureau. So if we now have a regulation that will look into a substitute for children, I think that will help all of us as parents. Because all of us here are parents, some of us are would-be parents. And we should encourage our children to breastfeed. It has its own advantage. When a child breastfeeds, you expect that child to grow strong and healthy. We expect that child to be extremely intelligent, more than the normal child that goes through this substitute. We have a situation in which we have substitutes in this country that have expired, that do not have the proper nutrients, that do not even state how the mixtures are being done. When we have regulators now that will be looking at this food, definitely we are making sure even the substitute that our children are going to take are going to be proper for them, and they are going to be very healthy for their consumption. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this bill is not contentious. This bill, when once it is passed, the milk that will be used, the substitutes that will be used, will be now very, very safe. They will now stand the test of time. We now have the level at which our children, when you go to our various hospitals, you see the level at which children are getting ill. That's because some of them their intake are substandard. Some of them, their intake are not correct as per prescription. We have a situation in which even the expiry dates have been removed by shop owners. We have a situation in which milk that should expire in 1 week, in few days, are still within the shelf of our shops. So we expect when we have now a regulation and we have regulators, they should stand the test of time. We should not just create regulators, we should not just create offices. But my advice to the minister, once this bill is passed into law, we expect that the composition of the team should not be as we are now crying in standard bill. I know from the last parliament we have been engaged by a lot of people asking us to bring this bill into reality. Today it is here. We are going to give you the fullest of support once it goes through the legislative stage. Once it comes back, we expect that all sectors of life that are interested in this should have contributed to it. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to thank everybody that has contributed. I want to thank my colleague on the other side. Of course, when bills come to this parliament that are not controversial, we don't make them controversial. Thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you very much, honorable members. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to conclude I want to encourage the team that has pioneered this one. I want to encourage you, when once it is now a law, you should employ the rightful people. Don't just employ for the sake of friendship or family ties. Employ people who will stand the test of time, who will make sure that regulations are being done and the people adhere